Good afternoon, children.
Good afternoon,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon, ma'am.
Had your lunch?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, only one, I think. Others did not have. All had?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay, good. So we were discussing about glycolysis previous period. What is glycolysis? In simple terms, how can you define glycolysis, Malavika?
The breakdown of glucose to pyruvic acid.
Okay, the partial breakdown of glucose to form pyruvic acid is known as glycolysis. And we learned there are 10 reactions involved in just like a chain. 10 reactions are involved, and that is how the glucose gets broken down to pyruvic acid. And we learned about the different molecules involved in the process. And as I told you, have to learn the name of all these molecules in sequence. You should know at which stage ATP molecules are utilized, at which stage ATP molecules are produced, and where water molecule is released or used up, where NAD is getting reduced to NADH2. So it can be asked as an essay question to explain with the help of a flow chart. So once again, we will see those steps and then we'll try to recollect. Okay, so we had learned the different steps involved. Hope you are remembering the. So let's learn or let's recapitulate the different points that we had already covered. So in glycolysis, a chain of 10 reactions, it involves 10 reactions, and these by the end of these 10 reactions, the glucose molecule will get converted into pyruvic acid. To begin with, the glucose molecule will be converted to glucose 6-phosphate, and that takes place in the presence of the enzyme hexokinase. And here ATP molecule is being utilized. Glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, then 6-glucose 6-phosphate into fructose 6-phosphate, fructose 6-phosphate into glucose 6-phosphate into fructose 6-phosphate, fructose 6-phosphate into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, utilizing one molecule of ATP. And once fructose 1,6-bisphosphate has formed, they'll split into two molecules, each having 3 carbon atoms each. Glucose 6-phosphate, fructose 6-phosphate, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate all had 6 carbon atoms. And finally, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate having 6 carbon atoms will split into PGAL and DHAP. PGAL, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Dihydroxyacetone phosphate also will get converted into PGAL, and we get 2 molecules of PGAL, each having 3 carbon atoms each. And this PGAL molecule will get converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid or DPGA. 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is getting converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid, and then it will further change into 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So by the removal of 1-phosphate group, 3-phosphoglyceric acid. 3-phosphoglyceric acid will change into 2-phosphoglyceric acid or 2-phosphoglycerate. that will be further converted by the release of one molecule of water into phosphoenol pyruvate or PEP molecule, and that will get converted finally to form two molecules of pyruvate with the release of ATP molecules. So two ATP molecules are released. One is where 1,3-bis-phosphoglyceric acid is getting converted into 3-phosphoglyceric acid. That is DPGA getting converted to PGA. Then the last step where phosphoenol pyruvate is getting converted to pyruvic acid, there also one ATP molecule is being produced, but two of them are being utilized in the first and third step. When glucose is getting converted to glucose 6-phosphate, we make use of one molecule of ATP. And when fructose is 6-phosphate is converted to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, also one molecule of ATP is being utilized. But two ATP molecules are synthesized when one is when phosphoenol pyruvate changes to pyruvic acid. The other one when 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid is getting converted to 3-phosphoglyceric acid. And one molecule of water is being produced when 2-phosphoglycerate is getting converted to phosphoenol pyruvate. And NAD molecule is getting reduced to NADH2 when glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate forms 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid. BPGA forms 3-phosphoglyceric acid. BPGA means, and children, so BPGA is getting converted to 2-phosphoglyceric acid. There also one ATP molecule is released. Then the PGA formed. BPGA forms PGA. PGA will further change to 2-phosphoglyceric acid. It will be further converted to phosphoenol pyruvate. Phosphoenol pyruvate finally gets changed to pyruvic acid, releasing one molecule of ATP. So these are the different steps involved. Any doubt? Just have a glance at the flow chart. 10 steps are involved. Just a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you want, you can even remember the numbers to check out or to remember the production and utilization of ATP. At 1 and 3, ATP is utilized. 7 and 10, ATP is synthesized. At 9, water is being released. And at 6, NAD is getting reduced. In that way also you can remember 1 and 3, 7 and 10, then 9 and 6. At 1 and 3, ADP is produced by utilizing ATP. ATP will break down and form ADP. Whereas 7 and 10, ATP is synthesized from ADP. At 9, removal of water, one molecule of water is being produced. And at the 6th stage, NAD will get reduced to NADH2. Okay, either with the numbers or by remembering the compounds or remembering the different molecules, you can recollect. Okay, once again, glucose 6-phosphate, glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 6-phosphate, then fructose 6-bisphosphate. So that will be converted to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Dihydroxyacetone phosphate will be again converted into PGAL. Then this PGAL will be converted into BPGA, 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid, and the next step is PGA. BPGA becomes PGA, phosphoglyceric acid. Now PGA becomes 3-phosphoglyceric acid becomes 2-phosphoglyceric acid. Then it becomes phosphoenol pyruvate, and finally pyruvic acid. 2 ATPs are utilized in 2 steps. So already we learned 2 ATPs. One is when glucose is getting converted to glucose 6-phosphate, 1 ATP is being utilized. The other one, when fructose 6-phosphate is getting converted to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, also 1 molecule of ATP is utilized. And 4 ATPs are produced in 2 steps. 4 ATPs means here in the flow chart it is marked as 1 plus 1. See here, BPGA, when it is converted to PGA, 1 molecule of ATP. So 2, we are considering it as 2, no? Because 2 molecules are there, 2 PGAL molecules are there from that step onwards. So once dihydroxyacetone phosphate is also getting converted to PGAL. So we'll consider everything as 2. So 2 ATPs are produced there. Then phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvic acid, there also 2 ATP molecules are produced. So 4 ATP molecules are produced. Out of the 4 ATP molecules produced, 2 has already been used up. So we'll balance. 2 already consumed is removed from this. So the gain is 2 ATP molecules. And at the same time, 2 NADH molecules are also produced. For every NADH molecule produced, 2.5 it is actually, we round it off and take it as 3. For every NADH molecule produced, 3 ATP molecules can be synthesized. So 2 NADH molecules are produced. So 2 into 3, 6 ATPs. So 6 plus the 2 ATPs already we got 8 ATP. So that is the net gain of glycolysis. Any doubt? So I'll show you the previous slide once again. See here. With the help of this diagram, I'll show you the gain and loss of ATP molecules. So here, 1, 2. So 2 ATP molecules used. Okay, and here 1 ATP synthesized, another ATP synthesized. Here 2 molecules are there. So for each molecule 1 ATP. So this into 2. This also into 2. So 4 ATP produced. 4 ATP are produced. But since 2 are already used, you can subtract it from this. So 2 ATP. Okay. Then here NADH, here it is 1. So since there are 2 PGL molecules, this into 2. So 2 NADH molecules are produced. For every NADH molecule synthesized, 3 ATP. 3 ATP can be synthesized. So 2 NATP molecules, so 3 into 2, there will be 6 ATP molecules. So this 6 plus this 2, total 8 ATP molecules will be synthesized. Any doubt? Have you got any doubt, children? How many?
Can you explain the NADH part again?
For every molecule of NADH produced, okay, 3 ATP molecules can be synthesized. Each NADH molecule, they can produce, or they can, that energy can be utilized to synthesize 3 molecules of ATP. Every NADH, 3 molecules. So here we have 2 NADH molecule. See, from here onwards, we are considering everything as 2. because 2 PGL molecules are there. This is also joining. So 2 PGL molecule. Here, even though one is shown, these are 2 molecules. 2 into NADH. So for every NADH, 3 ATP. We have 2 NADH. So 3 into 2, 6. Yes, Nandana?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. 6 plus 2. Already I told you 4 are synthesized, 2 are utilized. So 4 minus 2, 2. So this plus 2, 8 ATP molecules. So the net gain of glycolysis is 8 molecules of ATP. 2 ATPs are utilized in 2 steps. 4 ATPs are produced in 2 steps. And ATPs produced directly 4, 2 consumed, balance 2. For every NADH produced, 3 ATPs can be synthesized since there are 2 NADH, 2 into 3, 6 ATPs. So 6 plus 2, we get 8 ATP molecules. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the pyruvate or the pyruvic acid molecule formed, they can undergo lactic acid fermentation, alcoholic fermentation, or aerobic respiration. So I told whether it is alcoholic, these two are anaerobic. These two are anaerobic process. Both are anaerobic reactions. And this is aerobic. So whether it is aerobic or anaerobic, glycolysis is common. The partial breakdown of glucose in the absence of oxygen is common. Now, the pyruvate molecules produced, they can either carry out alcoholic fermentation leading to the production of leading to the production of lactic acid, or it can proceed with alcoholic fermentation as in the case of yeast, leading to the formation of alcohol, or it will enter into Krebs cycle, aerobic respiration. And the products, carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So pyruvate can enter into any of these steps, either lactic acid fermentation, alcoholic fermentation, or aerobic fermentation. So before we proceed with the fermentation process, let's see how much you people have understood. First of all, as I told you, you should know all the steps in sequence. Make your own tricks to remember. The first part is very easy. It is from where it forms PGAL, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate changing into PGAL and DHAP. So from there, you might have confusion. Till there, I think it is okay. So can we start the different steps? So to begin with, glucose will be Anna. To
Yes,
begin
ma'am.
with, yes, first step is easy. So Anna is very happy.
Glucose molecule is converted into glucose 6-phosphate in presence of enzyme known as hexokinase, utilizing one ATP molecule.
Oh, wonderful answer. Very good. Okay, Punya. Second step.
Glucose 6-phosphate is isomerized into fructose 6-phosphate.
Okay. Then next step, Rijaz. Now we got from glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 6-phosphate. What is next?
Fructose 6-phosphate converted into fructose
You know to read and
biphosphate.
say. I don't want you to read and say. For that, I should not waste time. Fructose 6-phosphate will be converted to
Fructose 1,6-biphosphate.
1,6-bisphosphate. Any speciality in this stage?
1 ATP molecules used.
Used. Very good. Next one, Pidur. Now, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is formed. That is a 6-carbon compound. What is next?
It then splits into
Check.
PGAL and
Read.
DGPA.
DGP. IG.
DHAP.
DHAP. Expand it and tell me. What is PGAL? What is PGAL?
Phosphor.
That abbreviation is misleading. You don't have to start with P.
Glyceraldehyde.
Yes, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. And DHAP? Dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Okay. Now what is next, Gayatri? Michael, hope you are there. Your chance is yet to come. Yes, Gayatri.
3-phosphoglyceride is converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid.
Wait. So we got DHAP and PGAL. Now, immediately after that,
Then
what happens
the
to DHAP?
it is converted into PGAL.
What is PGAL?
I mean
Don't start with
3-phosphoglyceride.
P. Even though we say PGAL, start with the G. Glyceraldehyde.
Glyceraldehyde. 3-phosphate.
Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate.
3-phosphate.
Children, I know these are new terms. That is why I'm spending so much time drilling the same thing. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate.
3-phosphate.
Okay. Now what will happen to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, Meenakshi? Meenakshi Vijay. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate will change into can't find out. Nandana?
It will change into 3-phosphoglyceric acid.
Directly 3-phosphoglyceric acid?
Two molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid.
1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid. Here I think you will get confused. PGAL will get confused to 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid. Next two steps are easy. Michael, what is the next step? I thought you are having lunch.
The 1,3-biphosphoglycerate is converted into 3-phosphoglycerate. Yes,
3-phosphoglycerate. It is not biphosphate. S is also there. Bis it is. Okay. Now, what is the next step? 3-phospho. When this happened, one molecule of what was produced, Michael? When 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid changed to 3-phosphoglyceric acid, something was produced. What was that? Which molecule was produced? What is the aim of the glycolysis or this process? What is the main aim? To release?
Oxygen.
Carbon. By respiration, we can release oxygen.
Carbon.
Carbon dioxide. That is our sole aim. To produce so much carbon dioxide and supply it to plants. That is the intention. Why do you respire? Why you are respiring? To live. But there is another intention.
In oxygen.
No, you take in oxygen. That is respiration. But this oxygen is used for what, child? To release? To release what?
ATP.
To release energy. So there one molecule of ATP is being released. What is next then? Punya? Meenakshi? Meenakshi, what happened? Suddenly the relay went?
Last class I missed out because there was no connection.
Okay. Now you know which is the next step? Now also connectivity is not there. Who can help? Malavika?
PGA will change to 2-phosphoglyceric acid.
PGA will change to?
2-phosphoglyceric acid.
You said 3? 3 or 2 you fix? 2-phosphoglyceric acid will change to 2-phosphoglycerate or 2-phosphoglyceric acid. What is next, Anna? Nevin is there. Nevin? What is next? After 2-phosphoglycerate?
Converted to PEP.
PEP means what?
Pyruvic acid.
Directly pyruvic acid. Expand. Phosphoenol pyruvate. And last stage, pyruvic acid is formed. Children, you will get confused where PGAL is getting converted to 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid. So once you have got 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid, 3-phosphoglyceric acid, 2-phosphoglycerate, there it goes easily. Then the next confusion is in the next step where phosphoenol pyruvate is formed. So please do learn it thoroughly. Tomorrow I will ask you to share the screen and write it on the whiteboard. Okay. If I make you write on the paper, whatever is there on the text will be photocopied to your answer sheet. Don't want that. I'll ask you to share the screen and then you can write on the board. Okay. Agreed? Should we try now? No need. Tomorrow learn and come. Only after completing the, because it's very important, children. You can, it's a sure short question. Glycolysis, Krebs cycle, then in the previous chapter, Calvin cycle, then Hatch and Slack pathway. Definitely you can expect questions from these parts. It's lengthy question. For 5 marks, 3 marks, you can expect questions. Glycolysis is also very important. Once you are thorough with the steps, you can easily score marks. Okay. And there is nothing to understand much, just the sequence of the molecules formed and at which all stages ATPs are produced, which all stages ATP molecules are being used, then where NADH is synthesized and where water molecule is being formed. As I told you, you can number, and if you, it is easy for you to recollect the number and then study the stages, you can do accordingly. If not, by seeing the molecules, if you can remember, you can use your own tips and tricks to carry out, but you should be thorough with it. Agreed? What time is the bell? Sorry, what time is the end of the period? At what time it ends? 2:30.
2:30.
Okay, we have a few more minutes. Children, I want you to concentrate on this particular topic, glycolysis, Krebs cycle, very important. That is why I have changed my, usual background of the slide, thinking that at least because of this, you will stare at these slides. Incomplete, we learned that there are different ways in which this pyruvate is further undergoing changes. So this pyruvate molecule can either enter into alcoholic fermentation, lactic acid fermentation, or even it can enter into aerobic respiration by means of Krebs cycle. So incomplete oxidation of glucose under anaerobic conditions. So in fermentation, here also incomplete oxidation of glucose is taking place. It occurs in prokaryotes and unicellular eukaryotes. And the pyruvic acid, it is produced into, or here incomplete oxidation is taking place. The glucose molecule which is broken down to pyruvic acid, that is incompletely broken down to ethanol and carbon dioxide. Pyruvic acid forms ethanol and carbon dioxide in alcoholic fermentation or yeast fermentation. The enzymes involved are pyruvic acid decarboxylase, alcohol dehydrogenase. If it is bacterial fermentation, pyruvic acid will change into lactic acid. Enzymes involved are lactate dehydrogenase. Similar step can take place in the muscles of human beings or animals under anaerobic conditions. When you carry out some vigorous exercise, when there is huge demand for energy, such reactions or lactic acid fermentation can take place in your body in order to meet the energy requirements. So once again, this fermentation can be seen both in prokaryotes and unicellular eukaryotes, and even in some cells of human muscles. In animal muscles also, you can find anaerobic respiration. In yeast fermentation or alcoholic fermentation, pyruvic acid will get converted to ethanol and carbon dioxide. And the enzymes involved are pyruvic acid decarboxylase, pyruvic acid decarboxylase, and alcohol dehydrogenase. In bacterial fermentation or lactic acid fermentation, pyruvic acid forms lactic acid. Here the enzyme involved is lactate dehydrogenase. There alcohol dehydrogenase, because it was alcoholic fermentation, alcohol dehydrogenase, And in lactic acid fermentation, lactate dehydrogenase. So relate it with the terms. Here, pyruvic acid is getting converted to alcohol. So alcohol dehydrogenase. Here, pyruvic acid is getting converted to lactic acid. So lactate dehydrogenase. Here, one more enzyme is there, pyruvic acid decarboxylase, because carbon dioxide is also emitted. And similar reaction takes place in the muscles of animals in anaerobic condition when exercise or during vigorous exercise, or when you take part in some vigorous muscular activity. Reducing agent in both reactions, whether it is alcoholic fermentation or lactic acid fermentation, in both cases the reducing agent is NADH plus H plus. NADH plus H plus forms NAD plus. Only 7% of the energy of glucose is released. That is why we call it as partial oxidation of glucose. Only just 7% of the energy present in glucose will be released as a result of fermentation process. And this process can be hazardous. Depends on the amount of alcohol or acid produced, because either alcohol or acid will be produced by fermentation. And yeast can poison themselves to death when the alcohol concentration reaches about 13%. And if it continues, if alcohol fermentation continues and the percentage of alcohol, if it reaches to around 13%, the yeast can get poisoned by the alcohol produced by them. Okay, those are the drawbacks. One is that very less amount of energy, only partial oxidation is taking place, very less, only 7% of energy present in a glucose molecule will be released as a result of anaerobic respiration or fermentation. Then the products formed are either lactic acid or alcohol, and both of them, these products can be hazardous. And yeast can poison themselves to death when the concentration of alcohol is reaching up to 13%. About aerobic respiration, we will learn in the next class. So we learned about glycolysis, which involves 10 steps. Learn all the steps in sequence when you come tomorrow. And then we also learned about lactic acid fermentation and alcohol fermentation. Alcoholic fermentation is taking place in yeast and lactic acid fermentation in bacteria. So the pyruvate molecule or the pyruvic acid molecule formed as a result of glycolysis can either enter into fermentation process or aerobic respiration. And when it enters into fermentation process, only 7% of the energy present in glucose only will be released. Amount of energy released in anaerobic respiration is very less when compared to that released by aerobic respiration. Clear? Any doubts? Meenakshi? Understood. Tomorrow I'll start with you, Meenakshi. You have to begin. Thank you, children.